Okay, so the first ever MMA Netflix event is this weekend. And I got a lot of concerns, man. I got a lot of concerns about this, man. I'm hoping for the best, though. So before we get into it, folks, let's just get ourselves ready, okay? Just give me a second here. Okay, let's get into it.
It's not just the biggest women's fight of all time. This is the biggest MMA fight of all time. It's going to get the most views on the biggest platform, on a card with the biggest stars.
Look, at the end of the day, we all want this Netflix MMA event to be amazing, okay? To break all viewing records, we want this to happen. We need the UFC to have some competition. We need to push the UFC to making the fights that we want, okay? The big name fights. We need another place for the MMA fighters to go to make money. And this is going to be real money. But man, I got to tell you, I got some serious concerns with this event. So much riding on it, huge names. But what will actually happen with these fights? Look, I think we can safely say that the Nate Diaz-Mike Perry fight is going to be great. Nate Diaz last fought in the UFC in 2022, a win over Tony Ferguson. Mike Perry last fought in 2021 in the UFC. He lost by decision, I get it. Nate's done some boxing since then, and Mike's been killing it in bare knuckle. So this is going to be great, no doubt. Let me take a look at the Francis Ngannou fight. Now, Francis last fought in 2024 in MMA. He fought that 7-foot-tall doofus, Renan Ferreira, in the PFL, where he beat him up like Renan Ferreira just stole his wife's underwear or something. Like, it was brutal. The ref let him do it. Punch after punch. I mean, why the hell not? Francis also kept in shape by his two huge boxing matches, okay? Tyson Fury to Anthony Joshua. He lost both, but he's been active, you know what I mean? Francis Ngannou's opponent, Philip Lins, okay? A big friggin' no-name. He last fought in the UFC in 2024. In fact, this bastard won his last 4 fights in the UFC. But he's got a few major problems, okay? He's really friggin' boring, no charisma, he's got BO, and he's Brazilian and doesn't speak a lick of English, okay? But then again, Alex Pereira, the UFC's biggest star, is also Brazilian, and he doesn't speak any English either. But it doesn't matter, because all he has to say is this.
Chama.
And Joe DC and I remember...
But in the main event, okay, Rhonda Rousey versus Gina Carano, okay, the two pioneers of women's MMA, I get it. Rhonda Rousey is saying this fight is the greatest fight of all time. Like, come on, man, seriously? This is what I'm worried about, okay, the delusion, you know what I'm saying? Rhonda Rousey, 39 years old, last fought in MMA 2016, so 10 years ago. She got her ass kicked in her last 2 fights. And then she went to WWE, had a lot of success there as a heel. So that at least kept her in shape, you know what I mean? But Gina Carano, 44 years old, hasn't fought in MMA since 2009 in Elite XC. You kidding me? 17 years ago, you out of your mind? In her last fight, she got her ass kicked by that freak Christian Cyborg Santos, you know, the Vanderlei Silva lookalike. And after that, she went to American Gladiators, that show. She was on there for a bit. And then The Mandalorian, okay? And after that, she got canceled for saying a bunch of bullshit online. I'm not going to go through it. She got depressed and gained a ton of weight. Okay. But then recently it all changed. And she got a call from Rhonda Rousey, who said, hey, bitch, you want to fight? Let's do this. So let's put this in perspective, folks. Okay, she's 44 years old, Gina Carano. Hasn't fought in 17 years. Come on, man. I know the coaches and trainers are going to come out and say, hey, you know, she looks great. She's hitting the bag like real hard. She's hitting the bag real well. You know what I mean? She looks great. Whatever. It doesn't matter. If true to the test, this fight should likely end up very quick, where Rhonda Rousey throws a couple of punches, takes down Gina, gives her an armbar, quick finish, okay? But I think Rhonda's going to carry her into the second or third round. There's going to be an agreement there. I think there has to be in this case. Either way, this could end up being a real disappointment, okay? I don't believe Gina Carano can fight anymore. Come on, man. The time off, this is ridiculous, man. No friggin' way. But they will make us believe this is going to be a competitive fight. And I appreciate that, okay? I am going to tune in. Oh, what the hell? It's free on Netflix, right? So there you have it, okay? quick pre-fight video for this Saturday. I hope it ends up breaking viewer records and we see some real competitive fights from some old friends of ours, you know what I mean? Some alumni. But really, it wouldn't surprise me if this ends up being an utter disappointment. But we'll see. MMA needs this. Please.